Mike, the Phillies keep winning despite all the injuries. We keep saying, well, one of these years they're going to hit with the injury bug, and the replacements are doing well.
Yeah,
I bring that up.
Right.
Brian Snyder gets hurt. He was the backup to Ruiz. Ruiz goes down with the injury at catcher. So Paul Hoover, who the heck is Paul Hoover?
The legendary Paul Hoover.
He was Albuquerque last year in AAA and with the Marlins a little bit. 3 for 4 on Saturday against Milwaukee. He's played well. Now Ruiz is coming back.
Yeah.
How much shortstop? Rollins goes down. Castro goes down. So Wilson Valdez comes in, starts hitting, fielding fantastically. That, to me, sets up that this team is well-groomed for another big run here if you can get through these injuries like they've been doing so far. What do you think?
It's funny. We talk about this. I'm very, very leery about putting too much stuff on intangibles. But you wonder if let's say, this was happening in May of 2007, before the Mets collapse that led the way to the Phillies winning their division and the Phillies becoming what they've become. You wonder if these injuries would have been handled so easily, would have been a bigger deal, where the media and the talk shows and stuff would have been saying, well, they could have got this guy to replace this guy, and instead they don't. Now they're out of luck. And what we're seeing is a team that doesn't worry about who isn't available, but comes to the ballpark every day and goes out there with who is available and expects to win the game. And I do think there's something to that. I do think there's something to the sort of goes without saying expectations that everybody in that locker room has that sort of lifts everybody.
Well, I think expectation to win, but also expectations is you're in that lineup, you're going to perform well today. It becomes contagious. Chase Utley is the best in this position. He's probably like the Mickey Mantle out there of our era right now. And these young guys, well, he's one of the elite players.
I know what you're saying.
I'm trying to say he's one of the elite players.
Yeah.
And Paul Hoover sees this, and I watched it in Milwaukee. Hoover knocks in Utley, or they're congratulating each other. I thought, to have Chase Utley stick out his hand because you did something well, you're going to want to keep doing well. And I think there's an expectation that becomes almost contagious that you're in this lineup, therefore you will perform well. And we've seen that lately with these guys, no matter who it is.
There really is a snowball effect, and it's amazing. And I'm going to go back to 2007 again. It's amazing how differently the Phillies are perceived, and I think how differently they perceive themselves than they did, this time in 2007 before the famous Mets collapse that allowed them to. So how much do outside circumstances play into letting to creating these things that happen?
I think you're right. It's funny you mentioned going back to 2007 when they were trying to become winners. Now they're there. You ever notice they don't compare themselves to any team in the National League? They compare themselves to the Red Sox and Yankees. And that's the barometer. That's the milestone they're trying to get to everywhere. And I think that makes a big difference when you're trying to be an elite club, and that's how you're trying to compare yourself.
And there are a lot of things that go into that. One of them is, for example, this is just an example, going out and getting Roy Halladay. It's something that sends that really does. I think sometimes this is overstated, but it really does send a message to the locker room that management is as serious as you guys are.
Yeah, I think we've heard how deflated that minor league system was because of all the trades to get the Hallidays, the Joe Blands, the Cliff Lees. But I'll give Amaro credit for this. Paul Hoover was not a minor league pickup as far as bringing him through the system. They went out and signed him during the offseason, basically to go to AAA to help out the Allentown club. Same with Valdez. They made some good moves that have helped this club stay where they are. If they didn't have those players, they'd be in a bad shape. So give it to the scouters and guys like Ruben Amaro and the rest of his assistant GMs for what they've been able to pull off with this team.
We've got a long way to go here. Where it's still May,
Easy does it.
But I think what we're saying is the Phillies have done a lot of little good things, tangible and intangible, to kind of keep above water as we go forward.